Owen, Farrell, Jonathan Sexton, Kieran Reid and other top international stars slammed World Rugby plans to revamp the global game, saying rampant commercialism could kill the sport. In a timely and bold intervention, rugby's leading players have warned their paymasters that the game's integrity is at stake if a new proposed World League were to be ratified. They are deeply concerned that player welfare is being ignored in favor of money too. On Tuesday night, almost 40 of rugby's leading players, including 9 of the world's top 10 test captains, spoke, and now have savaged World Rugby's plans for cross-hemisphere World League. In an attempt to pour cold water on the deal, which looked set to be ratified in the coming weeks, the International Rugby Players (IRP) Council have found their voice. IRP President and World Rugby Player of the Year Jonathan Sexton said, "While players gave this idea a cautious welcome when we met at the end of last year, it now seems like a commercial deal on the future of the game is being negotiated at a rapid pace with little consideration given to the important points we raised with World Rugby in November." The issue of player load has never been so topical, however it needs to be properly understood. To suggest that players can play 5 incredibly high-level test matches in consecutive weeks in November is out of touch and shows little understanding of the physical strain this brings. World Rugby, the game's governing body, are trying to push ahead with plans to completely reshape rugby from 2020 onwards. The idea on the table is a 12-team cross-hemisphere global league that would include the traditional 6 nations and rugby championship sides, Australia, South Africa, New Zealand, and Argentina, competing. And reports in New Zealand overnight claimed that USA and Japan, not 2 Pacific Island nations like Fiji, Samoa, or Tonga, would fill the final places. The tournament would see all 12 nations play each other in every calendar year, with a semi-final and final to crown a global champion, that latter element bringing into question the importance of the World Cup, which is played every 4 years. 6 nations and rugby championship results would contribute to the wider picture, rather than be seen as standalone tournaments. The proposed plan would produce a long international season with yet more massive tests. Player Council member and All Blacks captain Kieran Reid said, "After listening to the issues raised by many of the players, we need to be very careful that we balance the commercial needs of the game with the player welfare needs and ensure the quality and integrity of matches meets expectations. Fans want to see meaningful games. They don't want to see fatigued players playing a reduced quality of rugby as part of a money-driven, weekend competition that doesn't work for the players or clubs." With new technologies, new broadcast deals and new money coming into the sport, this is a crucial moment for rugby and one that many players are generally excited about. However, we have to make sure that the integrity of the game and welfare of the players is protected. With more test matches, backed by bumper television deals, pressure will be on players to play for their countries rather than clubs, exacerbating the already fraught status quo. England captain Owen Farrell added, "Players are definitely open to discussing a new global season, but what we develop has to work with the club game in order to reduce conflict, deal with player release issues and make sure their welfare is looked after." The proposal presented to us at the moment doesn't seem to have considered this properly and shows no signs of improving this already difficult situation. No promotion and relegation between tiers would lock the likes of Georgia, Fiji, Samoa, Tonga, Uruguay, and Canada out of the world's top echelon for 12 years. Samoa captain and Bristol Bears lock Chris Vui said, "For countries in this bracket and for Pacific Islanders in particular, our biggest issue has always been the club versus country factor. We feel that a 12-year deal is not workable, particularly when it presents no hope of advancement during that period. This will have the dangerous knock-on effect of luring senior players away from their countries and more towards the clubs, which is the exact opposite of what we're all trying to achieve." International Rugby Players CEO Omar Hassanein confirmed that these views have been conveyed to World Rugby on several occasions. World Rugby are failing to respect the players' views and genuinely engage on the issues. It will be interesting to see their approach in the coming weeks, knowing the current proposal does not have the players' support.